Having a mentor is vital to the success of your business. I had a mentor, but he turned out to be a mean, ignorant, arrogant son of a you know what. Stay tuned to find out how it ended. Hey guys, Carlos here again with MobileFoodBooth. I'm going to thank you guys for tuning in today. Guys, don't forget to like and share the video if you find this content of value. Anyway, let's jump right into things today. Today I wanted to talk about mentors. If you want to be successful in this business, I would highly recommend that you find you a mentor. Someone that is already successful in the business, who's been in the business for years. You just having a mentor will help you avoid so much downfall and pitfalls and mistakes that you can make in this business. You can avoid all of these mistakes by simply having a mentor. And I wanted to tell you about my mentor. Actually, I want to tell you I had two mentors, and they both were kind of like, they didn't work out. The first mentor, when I first got into business, I was doing shaved ice, and I was at a festival. Didn't know what I was doing, sitting around all day twiddling my thumbs like I was at a funeral. And the guy was set up next to me, and he had a big trailer. He was doing Italian water ice, and he came and talked to me. I needed some more ice, I guess, for shaved ice, and he had these big blocks of ice frozen, and he gave me ice. And he was like, look, man, he was telling me about his business and how he could set me up and how I could make some carts and whatnot. And I was getting excited. I'm seeing him with these lines all day, so I'm thinking, hey, I can get these lines. Anyway, at the beginning of the next season, I made me some carts, and I took him on his offer, and I began selling Italian water ice. He's giving me his banners to use, scoops. I mean, he's helping me in every way possible, and I was like, wow, this guy's real helpful. As time went on, his true colors started to show. This guy would call me and just leave these nasty messages on my phone saying, if you're not doing an event this week, you need to bring my banners back and all this and that. And at the time, I was a loose cannon, so I would fly up to his shop, and I get there and he's acting all nice, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, so it's kind of throwing me off. Anyway, come to find out, he had quite a few run-ins. I've talked to other vendors that I knew at the events, and he was helping them set up little Italian ice businesses, and he treated them the same way. So safe to say, I ended up going to Philadelphia and finding my own water ice and left him alone, cut him totally off. And actually, I ended up crushing him, putting him out of business. Till this day, my family's Italian water ice business is #1 in the city. And that's how the story ended. He's out of business. But I wanted to get into my next mentor. He's the one that actually got me into food, doing the food vending. Older gentleman, he'd been in the business since the 70s. He was doing a state fair since the 70s. And I believe I remember, he showed me some old pictures of some of his trailers, and I think I remember him at the fair when I was a little kid, which was odd. Anyway, this guy has a huge concessions business. I mean, when I tell you, he's as big as I've seen in around the state. I mean, he's huge. He doesn't do fairs anymore. His niche is doing small to medium-sized festivals, but he'll dominate because he's like a one-stop shop nobody can really compete with him. I mean, he has like 7, 8 workers, and it's like a fine oil machine. Like, he has anything you want, you can go to his booth and get, from Italian sausage to hot dog to funnel cake. And I've seen this guy make $30,000 in a day several times. I've seen this guy make $45,000 in a weekend, cash. I was there. So he's the real deal. Anyway, I set up a little payment plan with him. He's selling me some equipment, some funnel cake fryers and whatnot. So I'm hanging out with him, picking his brain. He's giving me all kinds of information, and I'm loving it. So as time goes on, I eventually started working with him at some of his events, just to get the experience. Like, if I didn't have an event, I would go work with him. So this one particular event, I go to work with him, and I guess like some tongs or something wasn't in one of the cases, like, and he was like really, I guess, in a bad mood. This is a real older gentleman, and he blamed me for the tongs not being in the container. So, I'm thinking like, what you're blaming me? This is your business. Anyway, he's screaming at his manager. This lady, she kind of manages the kitchen, and he kind of just sits back in the truck and watches. He's screaming at her. He's talking to her like crap. I mean, yelling at her. And I'm just like, wow, like, I never seen this side of him before. And I'm thinking to myself, I hope he doesn't try that with me, because this is going to be a problem. Anyway, I guess he was having a bad event, wasn't making much money. The people weren't really there. So, and I rode with him. So at the end, he had all this leftover food. So everybody else is making a little sandwich. I make a sandwich. So he tried to come to me and make a big deal because I was making a sandwich. And it was deeper, obviously, than the sandwich, but he just made a big deal out of it and just started talking about the tongs and all this other crap. And I'm driving home with him, so I'm not saying much. I don't want him to put me out. Anyway, I tell him that I'm not going to be coming back to work the second day of the event. Can you pay me? So he was mad. He was really, really mad that I wasn't coming back. And I'm thinking, can you blame me? Can you blame me? You're talking to me like crap. Anyway, I was like, can you pay me? So he ended up never paying me for that day that I worked. And we had a big falling out. And I stopped paying on the equipment that he was selling me. So eventually he called me. We made arrangements for me to give him the equipment back. My stepfather was a mediator. So we ended up scheduling a day to talk, and we met at the car wash. And I aired my feelings out, he aired his feelings out, and I was like, the way you talk to people, man, it's unacceptable. I was like, you may be able to talk to other people like that, but you can't talk to me like that. And he was looking at me like he was shocked. You know what I mean? I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm a boss. I may not be at your level, but I command respect. And he just couldn't believe, I guess nobody ever talked to him that way or just stood up for themselves. But I did. And I guess he kind of respected me for that. And we didn't talk for a couple years after that. Eventually, I started seeing him at festivals. Until this day, I speak to him, I talk to him, we hold conversation. It's just water under the bridge now. And he just doesn't know. He lit a fuel under a fire under me, because I told myself, I see what makes him successful. And what I did was, I just took everything that I seen that was making him successful and I made it better. I use it for my business. So even though he didn't continue mentoring me, I still just, to this day, just took his ideas and just made them better and made them my ideas. But anyway, I'm rambling on. But guys, it's very important to get a mentor. Find you a mentor. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like and share. Until next time.